Good morning. This is my first time to do this, so please bear with me. I just we're just trying to experiment different ways to do the orientation so that it will be easier for you, especially those who are far from our center. And we really want to reach out to you. So for today, uh, is it possible for you to just message me if you can see or if you have any comments on the audio or the video, please kindly comment so that we can adjust it accordingly. Nakikita mo naman ba yan? Okay. Yan. So, um, for today, we will be discussing homeschooling in the Philippines. For now, it is an alternative delivery mode. It is under the formal education of DepEd under alternative delivery mode. So, um, there. It is an alternate, sorry, yeah. So, it is an alternative delivery mode of education and it is parent-led. There are different kinds of alternative delivery mode under the formal education under DepEd, and homeschooling is one of them. The difference of homeschooling from home study or online schooling or any other education that is outside the school, the difference of homeschooling is it is parent-led. That is the key word. Basically, the parents choose to homeschool. It is their choice to uh, take on the journey of educating their children. Although for some, there are different reasons why they want to homeschool. But I will share uh, the base for us. I will share with you what is our homeschooling, why we chose homeschooling. So, homeschooling for us is about family journeying together for the pursuit of education in an out of the box experience. Homeschooling is about accepting our child for who they can become as a unique child of God, rather than what we, parents, or society want them to be. Homeschooling is being in the moment or in the precious moments of our child. Homeschooling is about choosing our own battles so that our child can grow and hone themselves for the better. For life is not a competition. Each of us has our own journey ahead of us. Each of us has our own battles to fight. So let us inspire and encourage one another to reach our full potential. Homeschooling is about helping our children grow their love for learning, for it is up to them to use their time to explore, discover, and apply necessary skills for life. Homeschooling is about experiencing firsthand what needs to be learned in the given time and circumstance. Please kindly comment if I am talking too fast or the audio is okay. Okay, so I will just continue. Later on, kindly note down your questions so that after I discuss, You may ask your questions. Homeschooling can give room to achieve a child's full potential. Opportunity Opportunity to redirect learning towards their interest. Here, my daughter is really interested in arts. So, we aligned all the lessons that she has to learn under DepEd with arts. So, in this way, her interest and the required requirements from DepEd are aligned. Provide an avenue for building self-confidence because the children are given the freedom to discover, do their own research, and really embrace what they really want to learn. They have more confidence in what they want to do and what they are doing. For example, the projects that they are doing, they are more confident with it because it is their hard works uh, results. So with this, they can share it with others. It gave my daughter an opportunity to get out of her shell. She's quite the shy type, and with this project that I gave her the confidence to share it with others because she is more knowledgeable about it. I cannot do it for her, so she has to really step up and do it herself and share it with others. So she was able to learn to talk and share it with others. We started with small group until she is now able to do it in a whole school, do a workshop for a whole school. So with homeschooling, we can give this opportunity with our children. Provide second chances. Of course, many of us parents, those who are seeking a second chance for our children, feel frustrated. And with homeschooling, we can give our children that second chance. We at Gopala, for since we've started, for some reason, many of our, not many, a few uh, homeschoolers who came to us really needed this second chance. So So many people ask when they hear homeschooling, they always ask what about socialization. So with homeschooling, uh, there is no problem with socialization. I will uh, tell you more about this later. So homeschooling is not about doing it alone. For no one is an island, and we need a village to raise our child. So it is about building a community of like-minded families for our children to belong, grow, and flourish. Here in the Philippines, homeschooling is growing. To give you a figure, when I started with Homeschool Association of the Philippine Islands, the total number of homeschoolers under 8 to 10 providers were around 4,000. And today, this year, to be with this school year of 2018 to 2019, one of the homeschool provider actually reached 3,000. Just one of the homeschool provider reached 3,000 homeschoolers. So each year with the from 2016 to 2019, it has really gone uh, up. So why is it growing? Many parents want to take part in their child's education. Parents want to be hands-on and intentional with raising their child. Need for alternative because the child's situation, or need for alternative because of family situation. Most of the time, when it comes to child situation, this will be based on their special needs of the child or special situation of the child. For example, they are athletes, artists that needs to travel a lot, or they have special needs, or the child just want to focus on certain interest or skill. As for the family situation, many of the homeschoolers come from the overseas, because now with the homeschool program, many of the overseas contract worker or overseas Filipino workers can now bring their family wherever they are working. So it gives them a chance to be together wherever they are assigned to work. The reason why homeschooling is growing because of many Filipino families abroad are now aware of homeschooling, and they are now realizing that they can bring their children or and their wife or husbands to their destination. Unlike before, where we have to leave our family behind so that we can work abroad. And this causes a lot of problems. And one to mention is because there are no parents around, many of the children become loses their way, and sometimes become rebellious, or they act up. That's why homeschooling is uh, a chance for these families to get together and grow together. Sorry for that technicality. Like I mentioned, this is our first time. So, what are the top reasons to homeschool? According to the research paper of Miss Sevilla, values formation, character relationship, and faith strengthening, close family relationships, and quality of education. So many families of today are seeing the value of character and their relationship with their children. And many also wish to strengthen their faith by establishing the children's foundation and relationship with God. So, with homeschooling, uh, the children and the parents become closer to each other. The children, siblings become also close to each other. So, quality of education is because, of course, um, the children are given close monitoring, especially they can have one-on-one classes for subjects that they need to work on or study more on. What are the benefits of homeschooling? Bonding with family, flexibility, discipleship, room to explore, more time together, having the world as classroom, own pacing to learn, potential to develop self-esteem, positive character, and both parents and children learn. This is a survey from Homeschoolers of the Philippines FB group. So of course, with any kind of situations, there will always be a pro and con, or advantage and disadvantages. So here are some based on the same FB group. Requirement of patience and commitment by the parents. Let's be honest, most of us parents has gotten used to sending our children to school. We bring them or we send them to school from this AM to that PM, and do not really have to worry about what to provide for our children during those times. And with homeschooling, there will be your kids or the children will be with you basically 24/7. And this require a lot of patience and commitment. So not because of this, you will also have difficulty in juggling homeschooling with other responsibilities, pressure from pressure from family and peers. Usually, these are from families who have relatives who are more on traditional and are not very open to the to change. So family and peers usually get on the case of the homeschool family, and because of this, sometimes family who try to homeschool do not last, or sometimes they really last but they have to move to another place just to be away from those family or peers that are nagging them about homeschooling. So fear of being behind and inadequate. Sometimes parents feel this way, especially if their children are not really academic, so they kind of have to focus on certain subjects and try to limit the other subjects. So in this way, some parents feel that they might be, missing the things that they have to teach or something like that. So number 5 is tendency to compare with others. Well, it's not just homeschooling. It is our human flaw that we always try to compare ourselves with others. We always see what is better or greener in the other side. And with homeschooling, we should always put first why are we homeschooling, so that we do not fall into comparing ourselves with other homeschoolers or those who are going to traditional school. Homeschooling can be expensive. Well, homeschooling can be quite expensive compared to sending our children to the public school. In homeschooling, we still have quite the expense. Of course, in the public school, it is free. With homeschooling, although there will be expenses like books, curriculum, or sometimes if you go for a provider, then the provider can be quite expensive also. Plus, if you want to be really hands-on and travel travel to different places or do field trips on your own, it is quite expensive because it is one person or one family only. And number 7, need to invest time and effort. Of course, when you have more than one child, you really have to you really have to manage your time so that each of your child uh, gets to have that one-on-one with you. Uh, and of course, aside from homeschooling your children, you have to do the chores, you have to do your business or your work, and this is quite challenging, especially for those parents who are working. But it can be done with proper time management. Number 8, difficulty with Department of Education. Well, this part is being dealt with. We with Homeschool Association of the Philippines are really working together so that DepEd can recognize the homeschool community. Number 9, possibility of sheltered kids. This in a way becomes true if you are a family who do not really uh, let your children out, or do not engage them with uh, other than your family. They become sheltered. Actually, this is not just a problem or disadvantage for homeschooled kids. In my years of service to the community, I have encountered families who themselves do not really go out with friends, or do not go out and do civil work, community work, or church, uh, participate with church activities. So sometimes this becomes a problem because the kids also become very sheltered at home. It ends up that they do not want to go out anymore. They don't want to explore or go out and uh, do things on their own. They become dependent on their parents. And with homeschooling, that is one of the disadvantage, especially if the parents are not really actively sociable, or not going to parties. I do not mean going to parties or whatever. It just means going out and reaching out to other people within the community. So here are some of the homeschool providers and support. Actually, I always introduce this list because with Gopala, our advocacy is really the homeschooling. As much as possible, I want to reach out families to share the real benefits of homeschooling, what it is all about, and uh, help those families to who are in need to homeschool, or who really wants to homeschool. And our activities with Gopala are open to everyone. So even if you are under a different provider, we will still accommodate you. But of course, if you choose to be with us or enroll with us, then we are very happy to accommodate you. So here in the Philippines, there are two kinds of homeschool setup. Number one is with a provider. If you are already with me or familiar with the setup of Gopala, we are somehow already a provider. Be, uh, I say somehow a provider because I really wanted to be a support rather than a provider, because with support I can support all the kinds of families that are homeschooling. But when you provide, sometimes it limits our services because we have to follow the requirements of the depth ed. So with the provider, uh, just like us who are now a provider, we have a depth ed partner school. Our school is accredited by DepEd. Gopala is not a school, just to clarify that. We are a homeschool support or provider, and we are partnered with, this year we are partnered with to school who are DepEd accredited. So when you are under a DepEd accredited school, a child is enrolled similar to a child enrolled in a physical school. The difference is, of course, you are at home. They are issued report cards and finish a grade level each year. Of course, provided that you meet the requirements for the school level. Parents are guided and assisted. Extracurricular activities may be provided. Follow DepEd curriculum. May be flexible. May add other lessons or apply certain approach depending with providers. So with Gopala, we are trying to also advocate interest-led learning. So we follow the DepEd curriculum, and we also coach parents how to do it, how to do it with the interest-led approach. And also this gives the parents some flexibility, can uh, focus on the gaps of the child, and or give more lessons for those children who are fast. So the next setup of homeschooler is the independent. A child is considered out of school youth. There are no report cards. Child does not level up each year. Parents are on their own, may follow different curriculum, method, and approach. I included this independent setup here in the Philippines because after our survey a few years ago, we found out that there are quite a number of homeschool families who are doing independent homeschooling. They are not enrolled with any provider. They are just doing it on their own. But this setup is not recognized by DepEd. That is why it is called independent. And your child is considered out of school youth because they have no LRN, or the learner reference number, and um, the kids or the child does not level up. So why does some parents still opt to do independent? There are varieties of reasons, but one major reason of parents are they really want to do things on their own. When I mean do it on their own, they don't want to follow the DepEd program. Basically, they do not believe with the DepEd curriculum, and they wish to do the learning journey that is quite free from the DepEd curriculum. So there is a third setup here in the Philippines. Actually, this third setup has been around for 2 decades or more. One of the first few who offered this program is ICS, or International Correspondence School. Another is Calvert Homeschool. Another is Home Life Academy, and then Seton. Some homeschool families opt to use this setup, but sometimes this setup is not recognized by DepEd, because or some do acknowledge it, but uh, when they enroll to the traditional schools, they are considered an international student, meaning their fees are higher than the Filipino students. So the question is it legal to homeschool in the Philippines? Yes, it is legal to homeschool in the Philippines. And it has been under the 1997 memo. This memo is quite old already because uh, it was released in 1997, but DepEd seemed to not really push it. So with the provider, it is under formal education. This means it is under the DepEd program. The child is under a homeschool coordinator or facilitator, in which case, with Gopala, I am the coordinator or facilitator. Parents act as teachers or facilitators who manages the lessons needed to be learned. Parents, guardians are the key component of homeschooling. But of course, like I mentioned, homeschooling is not doing it alone. So we do not really we do not really uh, require that all the lessons will be taught by the teachers. You can always outsource or get help. So another type of homeschooling is the independent. Technically falls under non-formal or informal education. Like I mentioned, it is homeschooling here in the Philippines is legal, but those who are under the independent, although they are not accredited by DepEd, they can still do the homeschooling because under our constitution, as a parent, we have the right to choose how to educate our children. And this one, independent, technically falls under non-formal, which means they are required to take a government exam. This it's either each year that they want to go back. For example, if they want to this year they homeschooled and next school year they want to go back to traditional school. So if they are independent, they have to take a Philippine examination placement test to go back to traditional school. Um, Sometimes with this setup, the children has to be late 1 year level to be given this exam. So parents who are independent are actually not very much concerned about the grade level of the child. This is what I'm saying when the parents who are independent are not or who do not want to follow the curriculum of DepEd because they don't really uh, follow the grade levels of the students. Sometimes they intentionally let the child be later to enter in kinder because they feel that 5 years old is very young. So sometimes parents choose the independent route. For long-term independent learners, we usually take the alternative learning system accreditation. And this is only given when the child is 12 years old or for high school, 20 years old. Actually, it has changed this year. Before, it was given at 12 years old and at 16 or 17 years old for high school. But because of the K to 12, the high school diploma of ALS program is given when they are 20 years old and above. So, Homeschool Association of the Philippines is really working their best to reach out the DepEd program, the DepEd, so that they will understand the needs of the homeschool community. So in 2016, the Homeschool Association of the Philippines were given a chance to represent the homeschool community. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be one of the representative of Happy. We work together so that we can plan the framework of homeschooling. So common terms: homeschool provider, homeschool support group, independent homeschooling, outsourcing, hybrid classes, homeschool approaches. Um, like I mentioned, we under Happy Homeschool Association of the Philippines, there are different homeschool provider. As for the homeschool support group, there are different homeschool support group either online or offline. Most likely it is according to the area of the homeschool families. For example, we have a group here in Cavite, uh, online community of homeschoolers here in Cavite. As much as possible, we try to do meetups, but it's a work in progress. So outsourcing. When I say outsourcing, this is for parents who you know let their children attend classes like music classes outside their home, or sports clinics, or tutorial services like Kumon or Singapore Math. So it's basically outside the home. Hybrid classes are some of the things that we offer. For example, here at Gopala, we offer uh, classes that parents cannot teach at home. For example, the parent can only teach math and English and science, and is having difficulty teaching Araling Panlipunan, Filipino, MAPE. So those families can come here at Gopala, and we will try to assist them so that they can have those classes. So other homeschool approaches are, aside from the interest-led learning that we are sharing, is there is a big rise in Charlotte Mason, Waldorf, and unschooling, and so on. What are the costs of homeschooling? So, of course, you have sometimes they have to buy curriculum, materials, and supplies. Tuition if enrolled with the homeschool provider. Testing fees with Department of Education if they are going back to school. This is for the independent. Outsource classes, technology, teacher salary. I like to point out that this presentation is given to me by our homeschool of the Philippine Islands, or Happy President, Miss Donna Simpao. And with their arrangement, her husband, because she is the full-time homeschool mom, her husband gives her salary as being the homeschool teacher. So it is between you and your husband to arrange whatever uh, you know arrangement that you will do, so that your homeschooling is quite enjoyable and not very demeaning for the parent, to the parent, especially the mom, who sometimes sacrifices her career in order to homeschool the child. So what can you save from when you homeschool? Of course, uniform, transportation, lost time in traffic, energy, materials, unhealthy meals, lost time in organizing children in big school. So, when can one homeschool? Preschool to high school. Preschool is age 5. Uh, age 5 between June to August. You can enroll as preschool. This is sometimes called Kinder 2. And then high school is up to senior high school. Something to ponder. Every day is a learning adventure. Every moment is a learning experience. Every experience is a lesson, and every lesson is a chance to grow. With homeschooling, we really want to develop lifelong learners. Develop or inculcate. Okay, I recently read a book, Creative School, and it is a research done by Ken Robinson, a PhD in education. And he traveled the world, he's discovering different kinds of school setup. So, education, organized programs of learning. Training, type of education, focus on a learning specific skills. School, with this book, can define school not as a brick and mortar school or traditional school, but rather a community of people that comes together to learn with each other. So basically, uh, any setup where learning takes place or exchange of learning takes place can be considered a school. Curriculum. Conventional curriculum is based on the collection of separate subjects which are thought to be self-evidently important. So here in the Philippines, we are now um, under the K-12 curriculum, which from kinder to grade 3, we have we have mother tongue, and then grade 4 to grade 6, there are around 7 subjects. And then we have the senior high school, which has different strands. So, to share with you, um, homeschooling, there is no one way to do homeschooling. The only best way is the one that works for you and your family. Like I mentioned, that with homeschooling, let us not compare ourselves with other families because each family is unique. Each family's needs or seasons are unique. Therefore, their learning journey or educational journey are different from each other. With our homeschool program here at Gopala, each year we have not really done one one size program that fits everyone. We have tried to adjust according to our family's needs. And that is what we really hope to offer. We do not really want to be just following a DepEd program or following a certain program, but we rather want to adjust to what the family really needs. So this is my if you want to follow me, this and I also share my homeschool experience or give tips about homeschooling, kindly follow Teacher Purple or Teacher Purple Lakshmi. No, this is the time for you to uh, write your questions and I will try to answer them. Hi, Alet. Hi, Alet. How about homeschool fees in Gopala? Okay, like I mentioned, we want to support all the kinds of homeschooling. So far we have coaching fees for those who are independent, and we have it's usually between 2,500, depending on what kind of coaching needed. Usually it's 2,500 a month for coaching fee for each child. And as for the with provider or DepEd program, we have two, like I mentioned, we have two home DepEd school partners. One is in Bukidnon, Kibawe Bukidnon in Mindanao. The fee is 15,000 and it includes the soft copy of curriculum. Sorry, soft copy of modules. And like I mentioned, it is based in Mindanao. That is why the fee is quite less because it is in the province. Unlike my other DepEd school partner, they are located in the city. So the fee is 25,000 for the school year, additional of 25 for the soft copy of the modules. And if it's installment, additional 5,000. They are quite high because they are in the city, like I mentioned. But uh, like I mentioned also, there is no difference between our services. Gopala services are the same whether you choose the Madana Mohana, which is the 15K, or Victory Elijah, which is the 25K. Our services is the same. We provide the support and we collect all the necessary requirements for the child to be enrolled in the school. We also are the ones in between the school and the parent. This school year po, Ma'am Raquel, hi. This school year po, because the last school year, we are basically, it's our first time to open it to the public, and there are a lot of needed change. And one of the things that we really need to work on is that uh, the the families, especially those who are near us, have more time to come together, especially for social activities. Because in the past year, we did not really require it, so not many of the families are showing up. It really ended up us not getting to know the families. So this year, we really hope that parents or families who are around or in the Philippines get to come here at Gopala and participate in the programs. And also we will be offering the more of the camp so that the children can stay here longer and have classes uh, and the like. For Gopala students, we have a special rate for the Gopala students. Also, aside from this, every month we are going to try to try to follow up each family so that no family is left behind or unchecked. So we wish to have more communication with the parents. Uh, Sorry, 4-day mems. Taga saan ka? Saan north? For Dames, taga saan ka? Okay. Hi, Rochelle, I saw your message, and yes, we're really working on that since many parents this year, uh, we were not really able to connect because we were waiting for them to connect with ask questions or do uh, ask for help, but somehow some of the parents are shy to ask for help. So this year, we will try to do a monthly assessment or monthly follow up with the parents so that um, you do not feel that you are left behind or your child is updated and so on. So we'll try our best to offer this service this school year. As for the question about uh, camps in the north, I'm asking where exactly in the north because we usually go to Bulacan in Malolos, Bulacan, Angeles, and La Union. Those are the three places that I have homeschool family friends who I can request for a camp. Oh, Saturdays of June. July po magsa-start ka. Ma'am, Ma'am Raquel, Saturdays of this month of June, uh, June 15, June 15 only is not available. July yun. June 15 is the only Saturday that we I sorry, June 8 and 15 are the Saturdays that we are not available. 22, 29 we will be available. And also, just to mention, we will be here at the farm starting June 10 up to June 30, because we are working on certain projects here at the farm. So our families will be most likely here on those dates. Huh? Yes, to especially to handle the enrollments, because we will be starting our regular program on June 17. To answer your question, Alet, yes, our monthly Gopala requires a monthly project. It is like a portfolio or reports, but it is designed in a monthly way with themes. Um, with Gopala, the portfolio is either quarterly or year end. But like I mentioned, we will be trying to follow up each family in a monthly basis or as needed. Rochelle, 29 to 31, we will have to check. What is it? Okay. July 29 to 31, we will try to see if we are available on that days. Yes po, Miss Alet. Yes, it is okay to send soft copy also, because we have students in abroad. So basically, we try to make use of soft copy only through email or Facebook, whichever is working in your area. So so this will be the last question. If you have more questions, kindly just message me later on so that we can finish our our program. Ah, oh, we will have I will give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes to write your vision and mission for your family. And you just 5 minutes to do your mission and vision for this coming school year. So each of you kindly write down your vision and mission, and if you would like to share it, kindly write it on the comments uh, or chat box. So your family's mission and vision for this school year. Thank you very much for coming today and doing this very first online orientation. I hope that we will do a better one later on as we, explore this whole online orientation. But for now, again, please write down your vision and mission for this coming school year. Thank you very much also for coming. And I hope that we will, if you choose to enroll with Gopala, I hope that we can work together and make your homeschool journey meaningful and fun, of course, and lots of learning. Bye.